Welcome back, guys, to Horizon Zero Dawn, where last episode we took on Queen's Gambit, meeting with Frito Hadiv, whose mercenaries meant to secure the route to extricate the Sun King and Shadow Itaman and his mother had been wiped out by a rockbreaker, which Aloy soon dispatched. With those to be emancipated arriving, followed by enemies, one final battle against Shadow Cardra and a corrupted Thunderjaw took place before we took to the water, ferrying brothers to one another as our package reached Meridian safely. We then headed back to the Sunfall region, taking out the last corrupted zone and finding the last Banuk figurine, as we now return to the main story. We've got them all now. I'm fine. Seemed it did not auto-walk me onto the thing. I missed by a small degree. A margin of splat that took place. This. I already regretted what just happened, so it's all fine. Right. There's a campfire to get. And then we head back into Sunfall. I am curious. Yeah, let's have a look. Not looking bad, is it? 87%. Yeah, so run on the wall like a kid. Okay, onwards we go. I mean, to be honest, it makes more sense for me to fast travel to the last point, but I'll pick up this elf first. Because we can go straight inside yet again. So, the Bahavas who we met is dead. The king and his mum are gone. How does this change anything?
What are you waiting around for, Outlander? Bounties are announced inside.
Someone was talking about the former king.
You're among the faithful. Show some respect.
The king didn't even have faith enough to stay. This is the funny thing about it.
This is insane.
The balustrade. It's a short drop from there.
Wait, you want me to just walk off? I'm not sure about that. Over there. I'm sure the Shadow Cardra will appreciate me just running around these locations. I really thought I was going to go splat then. Whoa, I'm not on it. Whoa, whoa. Not cool. Going down seems kind of scary. Ah! Supposedly going down. You keep going everywhere.
The other side of the tower. Look for a vent.
Okay.
I see you've been here before.
Obviously. Now, it's very important that you hear what I'm about to say. I've shown you the way in, but this humble vent marks a point of no return. Before you descend into the depths here, you should be fully committed, equipped, and focused. No distractions. If you have errands to run, do them first or hold your peace. I won't tolerate whining. Is that clear?
You'll tolerate what I give you, Silence. I didn't ask you along for the ride.
I haven't done everything yet. So that's irritating. The question is it a point of no return in the sense that it's a point of no return and that's the end of the game? Which somehow I doubt. But I haven't picked up most of the quests and done. But equally we are quite a high percentage. Or is it a point of no return in the fact that once I go in there, I have to do the area before then coming back? You know, the same as Maker's End, where there was a point where I just couldn't get back. So I'm assuming it's that. I think it's that kind of point of no return. It just means I can't get out for a while.
I'm heading down.
I've spent a lifetime trying to uncover the secrets of this world. Where the machines came from. How the old ones achieved such marvels only to fall into silence and death. A lifetime of failure, as year by year, decade after decade, I hit walls I could not break, doors I could never breach.
Hello.
Until a Nora huntress marched out of the savage east. And voila, for her, all the deepest secrets of the earth were laid bare. I suspect you will have an easier time with this door than I did years ago.
Hold for identiscan. Genetic profile confirmed. Entry authorized. Malfunction. 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 Malfunction.
Are you kidding me?
You don't hear me laughing.
Shut up. There's gotta be another way. Hey! Elizabeth Sobeck here! Requesting access!
Access request acknowledged. Root command functions available. Do you wish to proceed?
I do! Get me through this door!
Analyzing. Primary access inoperable due to mechanical failure. Emergency venting procedure likely to circumvent blockage. Do you wish to proceed?
Yes.
Emergency venting authorized.
I underestimated you. So by now,
Guess you can't have everything.
that will draw attention. We won't have this place to ourselves for long now.
We? Last I checked, I was the one risking my life down here.
Yes, fine. Now will you please get moving? There's so much to learn in less time than I'd hoped.
Can't I ask the door to close? Being bossy got it to open. I mean, come on. I could try to do it the other way around. Could ask nicely.
Welcome to Project Zero Dawn.
Zero Dawn. We found it.
Are you really so surprised?
Facility diagnostics detect multiple failures. Attempting repair.
So, what was this room?
An entrance hall, perhaps. Have a look around.
No controller drift. Moving Aloy to the left for me. PS5 controllers weren't made like they used to be. Another incident. From lounge staff to admin. Subject, another incident. This morning's unfortunate incident with Dr. Popovich is another example of reception's need for additional support. We appreciate that Zero Dawn is an immensely complicated project, but as the staff who serve on the front line, we're tired of being neglected. By the way, that tinging noise, that's controller drift. That's joystick drift. I figured that out now. As we've already requested, we need human translators fluent in Polish, for example, security staff who can subdue enraged embryologists, for example, and thermal sedatives to calm persons who are screaming in Polish while hurling chairs and vases at reception staff, for example. Yes, most of the candidates are reasonably calm and well-behaved, but we need to help handling the exceptions to that rule. Please respond. Please, someone help, please. To be honest, the sedatives sound the best thing. Ah, there's no one. We need support too! To admin. Subject, we need support too from the reception staff. Reception staff continues to require additional support managing Zero Dawn candidates when they arrive at the facility. Many are frightened or confused. Some are highly agitated. These are not the sort of persons who are accustomed to having information withheld from them. At minimum, we need human translators. The Lang bots are not sufficient. And mild sedatives for the extreme cases. Any and all support would be welcome. Perhaps you could start by responding to one of these mails. By the way, of course, 100%, of course, we invented military, robots that can wipe out humankind before we managed to finally get a machine translator. A good one. Of course that was where everything, the money went. If we can all understand each other at all times, there might be less war. Can't have that hitting our profit lines.
Please take a seat and wait for your name to be called. A selection of beverages and snacks are available.
Ooh.
A smaller room.
Ooh, snacks. Soundproofing? Would it be possible to improve the soundproofing between VR1 and the lounge area? Most... sorry. I wasn't thinking screams or sobs, but screams. Most of the candidates stay quiet during the presentation, but the ones who scream or sob can be plainly heard by candidates waiting their turn in the lounge. Just a thought.
Please proceed into viewing room 1 for an important message regarding the purpose of your visit.
Well, I'm looking at other things first. Restock or else. For the 5th time, please restock the lounge's selection of herbal teas. If I have to listen to one more egghead throw a tantrum because we're out of organic cucumber mint or blackberry sage varietals, I am going to lose it. Please respond, and this time no tempest in a teapot or steep demand jokes, okay? With those puns, I feel like everyone doing the replies with a chatter on Twitch. Or commenter on YouTube. Puns aplenty. Bloop. Can't pry that door open, can I? That door looks a bit melty.
What was this place?
A holographic theater.
CD01 data intact. Initiating playback.
Welcome to Project Zero Dawn. I am General Harris, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff of the United States of America. I'm sure you've heard the rumors that Zero Dawn is a top-secret super-weapons program, the technological miracle that will save us from the Pharaoh Plague, if Operation Enduring Victory can hold off the robots long enough. The reason I'm sure you've heard the rumors is that I'm the one who spread them, and they are all lies. Zero Dawn is not a super weapons program, and it will not save us. Nothing will save us. And here's why. By the time the glitch was noticed, it was already too late. Nothing could stop the Pharaoh Plague. Nothing can. Its robots will continue to replicate and devour the biosphere. Life on Earth will be destroyed. Our planet reduced to a barren sphere. Global extinction is inevitable. No matter how many we kill, the robots just keep exponentially making more. If we had their deactivation codes, we could shut them all down, the entire swarm. But since their cryptographic protocols use polyphasic entangled waveforms, cracking a code set would take half a century. At best, we've got 16 months. Not exactly what you'd call a survival option. The destruction of a biosphere is not the sort of apocalypse you can wait out in a fallout shelter or a space station. There will be no Earth left to reclaim. Just a lifeless, toxic rock with several million Pharaoh robots on it, hibernating, waiting for something to eat. This is the horrible truth behind the lies of Operation Enduring Victory. My lies. Lies designed to inspire millions of innocents to sacrifice themselves in battle. Why? One reason. To buy time for you and the work you will do here. Zero Day, the day that life on Earth ceases to exist, is coming fast. It cannot be stopped. The hope of Zero Dawn is that something new might come after. But I will leave it to Elizabeth Sobek to shine that thin ray of light into the darkness. Harris, out.
That doesn't make sense. Life on Earth didn't cease to exist.
He said it could not be stopped.
But it was. Somehow Elizabeth saved us. I've got to keep looking. Find out how she did it.
If it doesn't make sense. And the conclusion is simple.
Kestrels. They got in. Through the vents.
Let nothing stop you from learning the truth.
Spread out! If it moves, kill it!
What is this place? Tomb?
How have they never tried to get in through the vents before?
Get over here! She's coming!
I'm coming, but I didn't pick up the good weaponry. I'm not high enough up.
Let this impale the enemy!
You missed.
We're too close to the tribal perimeter to stop us now. The data ports, what do they contain?
I've gotta look. Give me some time. The vents were closed, sure, but you'd kind of expect them to still break through it of their own accord, right? A lot of them are fairly inquisitive people. Interview with Tom Pitch. PhD molecular and cellular biology.
It is accurate, yes. So these mechanical monstrosities, they don't just kill people. They feed off them? Not just people. All organic matter. Every living thing. Dissolved into nutrients. Millennia of evolution. Liquefied. The miracle of life reduced to bloody biofuel. In a word, yes. Who did this? Pharaoh? That arsehole. Is he here? No, Doctor. Please. Tell him Tom Pate wants a word. Now, get off! Get off! Doctor, please. You get Ted Pharaoh in here.
He was impassioned, fella. Gotta understand him, don't you? Travis Tate, data security consultant.
Want to discuss? Whew. So Mama, she was right. Pardon? My mother, she took her Bible real serious. Not just Texas Bubble serious, Pentecostal serious. Favorite chapter? Revelations. Now, I didn't always understand her on account of all that speaking in tongues and such, but when she did use her words, it was always end times this and lake of fire that on account of sinful lifestyles. Speaking of which, mind if I smoke?
A tobacco cigarette.
Sorry, darling. My taste run classic. Compliments to your team tracked me down. Been a price on my head 18 months now. Sterling Malky was me, don't mind admitting. Been plenty of snakesters chasing the bounty too. But I kept the zigging to their zag. How'd you finger me?
I believe Dr. Sobek listed you as an alpha candidate. Priority snatch and grab.
Always suspected she had a little thing for me. Hey, I don't suppose you got real coffee in this place. You know, blood coffee? Conflict cappuccinos?
Mr. Tate, I'm clearing you to proceed. Just go.
Counselor did not like him. Brad Andak, formerly of FAS. So Pharaoh. Okay.
Who previously worked for Pharaoh Automated Systems.
On the chariot line self-replication routines. I came here thinking this was a rendition. When your people took me, I thought, about time. I've been trying to swallow the guilt every day since...
Would you like to take a moment?
No, I really hoped Zero Dawn was a way to undo it all. My work? Yeah. I'm sorry to say I was ever proud of it, but Ted could really sell a concept, and in the labs, in the light of creation, that first test run, when you saw they understood their own structures, could rebuild themselves from memory and light, there were no limits. God, there were no limits.
Yeah. And then being shown the further truth. The consequences of your actions. Councillor Guidelines 1. For the briefing after presentation 1, candidates must be allowed to ask questions and be given the necessary time to fully absorb the information they have received. It is important to be aware that candidates have just been exposed to triggers for severe mental and emotional trauma. Do not assume silence or outward calmness indicates acceptance. It is essential to stress that all other options for combating the Pharaoh Plague and preserving the continuation of human life have been considered and found unworkable. Communicate this fact calmly but clearly and firmly. Familiarize yourself with data on the catastrophic environmental impact of nuclear engagements versus the swarm. Addendum B1, and unfeasibility of maintaining life in orbital, lunar, or undersea structures. Addenda C1, C2, C3. So you can counter candidates' objections in depth. If a candidate asks for time alone to review supplementary information, allow this without hesitation. Be sure to inform security personnel so that the candidate can be monitored for attempts at self-harm. Candidates should only be cleared to proceed to presentation 2 if you believe their mental state is sufficiently stable. Note that real-time support will be available via your focus. Security and medical crisis teams are corrupted. Here's an audio one. Suzanne Alpert interview. Environmental reclamation.
With Suzanne Alpert, environmental scientist. Doctor?
I'm sorry, I wasn't,
Just stating your name. What were you thinking about, Doctor?
Nothing the General said, not really. I was on the Syzygy East Response Team in 2051, just after the second earthquake compromised the reactor. I still dream about it, after all these years. The red zone spreading on the imaging, slowly, so slowly, like a hand opening its fingers.
Your involvement in that event is why you were asked for by name.
Really? That's interesting. Because nothing worked. Nothing could grow there again. It was a catastrophic failure. But the red zone is a blip compared to global-scale biomass reduction. The biosphere and hydrosphere will collapse, render the Earth uninhabitable long before the robots finish us. Enduring victory can't buy time against that. So, you'd better show me what Zero Dawn really is.
She ended up with a drive. Captain Okilo, Information Warfare Specialist.
I'm sure you now understand the urgency of why we brought you here, Ms. Okilo.
Captain Okilo, are you trying to thank me for not resisting?
I believe we couldn't negotiate a diplomatic solution.
When it came to my country's lithium, it was always a swarm that would be sent to negotiate. Metallurgic International, US Robot Command. The markings changed, but the robots were the same.
You have had considerable experience in human-robot conflict.
Yes, and I've got the prosthetic limbs to show it. Yet I continue to face this horror, even though the challenge was great. Cyber warfare. I thought Zero Dawn would be a Manhattan project to generate the deactivation codes. With the resources I had, I estimated code breaking to be a hopeless endeavor. I was almost looking forward to being proved wrong.
Unfortunately, your estimation was correct.
As your General Harris said. So then, you did not bring me here to commiserate. What is left?
A few people with sufficient drive after they hear what's going on. Only one got violent. Ron Felder, Aerospace Engineering.
Look, let's cut the mystery. You're building a colony ship. It's obvious. And it's not gonna fly. I mean, literally. Remember the Odyssey? That multinational heap of space junk that's been in graveyard orbit since '57? That went nowhere real slow. And you have to get somewhere real fast. Do you have any idea the immensity of the challenge to prep a new colony ship in time?
To
To be clear, I'm not a worker on the project.
Do you even understand how few people it could save? The whole generation ship concept is not gonna happen. It's the first thing you'd abandon in favor of embryonics. For that kind of storage, we're talking a lot of bulk, a lot of power, a lot of resources. So even if you do it, even if you build it and point it at Sirius X, there's no room for people on that thing, all right?
If you could try to remain calm.
You people are crazy if you think you're getting off this rock. No one's getting off.
Medical.
I think that one's like the burden of knowledge. Do you know what I mean? He knows that no one has a chance of like actually surviving. Humans getting out of there. Hello. More up there. And there's of course a vent that we haven't been through either. The different reactions are quite cool. What's this way then? Don't tell me this just gets me into there to stab some people. That is seemingly what it would have done. Ah, so that was the stabby tunnels. But to be fair, there was only... Oh, that's that. There was only 3 of them. I didn't really have to do anything extravagant to defeat the 3 kestrels. The best of the best. Having trouble getting up there. There we go. And you go collapsing on me now, walkway. So much redwood. Always loads of redwood. Dr. Suve.
There is some mistake. I don't understand why I was brought here. Why would you show me these things?
I know that there's already a lot to take in.
In the waiting area, I was seated with a Nobel laureate in biophysics and a monk, I think. He spoke neither English nor Mandarin. It is very strange. And General Harris? What was he talking about? The robot swarm, the pharaoh plague? I understand it is terrible. But it really cannot be stopped? Why tell us this? There are people in Shanghai, my friends, my family. They have joined Operation Enduring Victory already. It is for nothing? We will all die?
We're going to be able to answer some of these questions.
I just want to know why I am here. It doesn't make sense to me.
You were brought here because of your skill set.
No, that can't be right. I am an art historian. I know Dutch masters, Japanese calligraphy, Gerhard Richter. What does that matter now?
Preservation of culture, history, knowledge. They were touching up a lot of bases, weren't they? But none of that's been disseminated. We reverted to a not necessarily prehistoric society, a tribal one.
CD02 data intact. Initiating playback.
Elizabeth Sobek.
You've heard the bad news, and it's all true. The Pharaoh Plague is devouring the biosphere. Life itself will cease to exist. But does that have to be the end? What if we could give life a future? What if we could build a kind of seed from which, on a dead planet, life could blossom anew? This is the aim, the hope, of Project Zero Dawn. To create a super-intelligent, fully automated terraforming system and bring life back from lifelessness. What would such a system require? At its core, it would need a true AI, fully capable of making the trillions of decisions necessary to reconstitute the biosphere. An immortal guardian, devoted to the reflourishing of life. We call it Gaia. Mother Nature as an AI. But that's just the core of the system. She will need to be surrounded and empowered by a comprehensive suite of subordinate functions. Think of them as extensions of Gaia's mind, each dedicated to a specific purpose. Now, these aren't AIs, but make no mistake, each presents an engineering challenge more profound than anything the human species has ever before attempted. Hardware that preserves and then gestates the billions of seeds and embryos from which life will be reborn. The construction of underground facilities to hold it all. And that's just the start. We don't have to build the entire system. The beauty of a fully automated terraforming system is that it can build itself. Now, over the days to come, you'll learn how all these functions, all these pieces that you'll be working on, fit together. How we'll race the clock to execute our harvest initiatives, write the software, build the tech and the facilities. How we'll lock it down and seal it up before the inevitable occurs. But even more important, you'll know how it doesn't end here. How Gaia will generate those deactivation codes General Harris talked about, and build the transmission arrays to broadcast them, shutting down the Pharaoh robots for good. How Gaia will not just build, but imagine any conceivable robot it needs to do its work across centuries. From detoxifying the Earth's ravaged atmosphere and poisoned seas, to the regreening of the Earth from cryopreserved seed stalks, to rewilding the Earth with animal life. And then, when all that is done, how a new generation of human beings, spawned at cradle facilities around the globe, will partake of Apollo, the vast archive of human knowledge and cultural achievement from which they will learn of us, our world. And most important, how not to repeat our mistakes. It's not an impossible dream. It is within our grasp if we work tirelessly and stop at nothing to achieve it. We can't stop life from ending. But if you will help me, help Gaia, we can give it a future. Join me and help make that future real.
The whole Earth destroyed, but then remade?
Yes. By a machine. A machine of creation.
Elizabeth did this. For life. For us. But why Hades then? If it was part of Gaia, how did it end up in the wreckage of a Pharaoh robot? And why does it want to kill me? And Apollo, the archive of knowledge, what happened to that?
I'm as confused as you are. Maybe the answers lie ahead.